Verb. Abash meaning. To make someone feel embarrassed or ashamed. Synonyms. Embarrass, humiliate, shame, disconcert, confuse. Example. The unexpected question from the teacher abashed the student, making her feel embarrassed and unsure of herself.
Verb. Abate meaning. To decrease in intensity or amount to become less active, intense or harmful. Synonyms. Decrease, diminish, lessen, reduce, moderate. Example. After the intense rainfall, the floodwaters abated and the residents were able to return to their homes.
Verb. Abdicate meaning. To formally renounce or give up a position of power or authority. Synonyms. Resign, step down, relinquish, surrender, renounce. Example. The king was forced to abdicate after the people protested against his authoritarian rule.
As a noun, aberration meaning. A departure from what is normal, usual, or expected. Synonyms. Deviation, anomaly, irregularity, idiosyncrasy. Example. The sudden surge in sales was regarded as an aberration by the company's management as they couldn't explain the cause for the increase.
Verb. Abhor meaning. To feel extreme hatred or disgust towards someone or something. Synonyms. Detest, loathe, despise, hate, abominate, revile. Example. He abhors the idea of hunting animals for sport.
As an adjective, abject meaning. Extremely unpleasant, degrading, or miserable. Synonyms. Wretched, pitiful, shameful, hopeless. Example. He lived in abject poverty, unable to afford even the basic necessities of life.
Verb. Abnegate meaning. To deny or renounce something, especially a pleasure or desire. Synonyms. Renounce, relinquish, reject, refuse, forego, abstain, give up. Example. As a monk, he had to abnegate all worldly desires and live a life of simplicity and sacrifice.
As an adjective, abortive meaning. Unsuccessful, ineffective, or incomplete. Synonyms. Fruitless, failed, thwarted, vain. Example. Her abortive attempts to complete the project on time led to her termination from the company.
Verb. Abridge meaning. To make something shorter without losing its essence or meaning. Synonyms. Shorten, condense, summarize, abbreviate, compact, reduce. Example. The publisher asked the author to abridge the book as it was too lengthy for the target audience.
Adjective. Absolute meaning. Complete and total, not limited by any conditions or restrictions. Synonyms. Complete, total, unqualified, utter, outright. Example. The king had absolute power over the kingdom. His word was law and was never challenged by anyone.
Verb. Absolve meaning. To free someone from responsibility or blame. Synonyms. Acquit, exonerate, clear, pardon, forgive. Example. The judge absolved the defendant of all charges due to lack of sufficient evidence.
As an adjective, abstinent meaning. Refraining from or avoiding something, usually related to alcohol or sexual activity. Synonyms. Sober, temperate, celibate, chaste, self-restrained. Example. After realizing the harmful effects of drinking, he became abstinent and stopped consuming alcohol altogether.
As an adjective. Abstract meaning. Existing in thought or as an idea, not physical or concrete. Synonyms. Theoretical, conceptual, intangible, abstruse. Example. The concept of love is an abstract idea that is difficult to define.
Adjective. Abstruse meaning. Difficult to understand or comprehend. Synonyms. Complicated, complex, obscure, arcane, cryptic. Example. The philosopher's writing was so abstruse that even his students found it hard to follow.
Adjective. Abysmal meaning. Extremely bad, very poor, or low quality. Synonyms. Hopeless, appalling, dreadful, terrible, wretched. Example. The service we received at the restaurant was abysmal. The food was cold and the staff were rude.
The noun. Accolade meaning. An expression of praise or admiration. Synonyms. Honor, award, tribute, recognition, commendation, endorsement. Example. After winning the tournament, he received the highest accolade in the form of a trophy.
The verb. Accost meaning. To approach and speak to someone aggressively or boldly. Synonyms. Confront, greet, approach, address, hail. Example. The stranger accosted me on the street and demanded I give him all my money.
Adjective. Acerbic meaning. Having a harsh or bitter tone or taste. Synonyms. Sharp, biting, caustic, sarcastic, acidic, scathing. Example. His acerbic comments during the meeting offended many of his colleagues.
The verb. Acquiesce meaning. To agree to something without resistance or protest. Synonyms. Comply, agree, consent, exceed, conform. Example. Even though he did want to go to the party, he acquiesced to his friend's request and joined in.
Adjective. Acrid meaning. Having a sharp and unpleasant taste or odor. Synonyms. Pungent, bitter, sour, harsh, sharp, tangy. Example. The acrid smoke from the burning tires made it hard to breathe.
Adjective. Acrimonious meaning. Full of bitterness or harshness, especially in speech or behavior. Synonyms. Hostile, contentious, caustic, spiteful, harsh, quarrelsome. Example. The argument between the two colleagues turned acrimonious and they ended up insulting each other.
Noun. Acumen meaning. The ability to make good judgments and quick decisions. Synonyms. Insight, intelligence, sharpness, shrewdness, acuity, wisdom. Example. His business acumen helped him turn his startup into a successful venture within a short period of time.
Adjective. Acute meaning. Sharp or intense, typically referring to pain or an illness. Synonyms. Severe, critical, grave, serious, urgent, sudden. Example. The patient was suffering from acute pain in his chest, indicating a possible heart attack.
The noun. Adage meaning. A short, well-known saying that expresses a general truth or piece of advice. Synonyms. Maxim, axiom, aphorism, saying, proverb, truism. Example. The early bird catches the worm is another commonly used adage that suggests the importance of early action.
As an adjective. Adamant meaning. Refusing to be persuaded or to change one's mind unyielding. Synonyms. Inflexible, resolute, uncompromising, determined, steadfast. Example. Despite everyone's suggestion, he remained adamant in his decision to quit his job.
The verb. Address meaning. To speak to someone or to give attention to a particular issue or problem. Synonyms. Approach, speak to, deal with, handle, tackle, confront. Example. The government needs to address the issue of unemployment in the country.
The noun. Adherent meaning. A person who supports or follows a particular person, group, or idea. Synonyms. Follower, supporter, disciple, devotee, fan, acolyte. Example. The politician had many adherents who were ready to support him in the upcoming election.
The verb. Admonish meaning. To reprimand or scold someone for doing something wrong or bad. Synonyms. Warn, rebuke, scold, reprove, chide, criticize. Example. The teacher admonished the student for talking in class and not paying attention.
As an adjective, adroit meaning skillful or clever in using hands or mind. Synonyms: dexterous, expert, adept, capable, talented, clever. Example: the adroit magician performed a fantastic trick that left the audience stunned.
The noun, adulation meaning excessive admiration or praise. Synonyms: flattery, compliments, homage, idolization, applause. Example: the actor received a lot of adulation from his fans for his extraordinary performance in the movie.
The verb, adulterate meaning to make something impure or inferior by adding something else. Synonyms: contaminate, corrupt, dilute, debase, taint. Example: the company was accused of adulterating its products to increase profits.
As an adjective, adverse meaning unfavorable or harmful, going against someone or something. Synonyms: hostile, negative, contrary, opposing, detrimental. Example: due to adverse weather conditions, the picnic had to be canceled.
As an adjective, aesthetic meaning related to beauty or pleasing appearance. Synonyms: artistic, beautiful, pleasing, attractive, stylish, tasteful. Example: the sunset over the ocean was truly aesthetic with its vibrant colors and peaceful ambience.
As an adjective, affable meaning friendly, easy to talk to, and approachable. Synonyms: amiable, genial, sociable, cordial, gracious. Example: the new teacher was very affable, and the students felt comfortable talking to her.
Noun, affectation meaning unnatural or artificial behavior, usually intended to impress. Synonyms: pretense, fake, artificiality, insincerity, posturing. Example: his constant use of big words in his speech was an affectation that he thought made him sound intelligent, but really just made him seem insincere.
Noun, affinity meaning a strong attraction or connection between two things or people. Synonyms: bond, liking, fondness, inclination, attraction, rapport, kinship. Example: she had a great affinity for music and spent most of her free time practicing on the piano.
Adjective, affluent meaning having a lot of money or wealth. Synonyms: wealthy, rich, prosperous, well-off, privileged, opulent. Example: the affluent family owned several luxurious properties and drove expensive cars.
Noun, agenda meaning a list of items to be discussed or accomplished during a meeting, gathering, or event. Synonyms: schedule, plan, program, menu, order of business. Example: before the meeting started, the chairman handed out the agenda for the day's discussion.
Adjective, agrarian meaning relating to agriculture or farming. Synonyms: rural, agricultural, rustic, pastoral, countryside. Example: the economy of the village is primarily agrarian, with most residents engaged in farming or animal husbandry.
Noun, aggregate meaning a whole formed by combining several separate elements or parts. Synonyms: collection, composite, sum, total, whole, accumulation. Example: the aggregate of all the students' test scores determines the class average.
Noun, agnostic meaning a person who is unsure or doubtful about the existence of God or gods. Synonyms: skeptic, doubter, non-believer, unsure, uncertain. Example: Sarah is an agnostic because she is not sure whether God exists or not.
Noun, alacrity meaning eagerness or readiness to do something quickly and enthusiastically. Synonyms: promptness, willingness, enthusiasm, briskness, fervor. Example: she accepted the job offer with alacrity and immediately started working on her first project.
Verb. Allege meaning. To make an assertion or claim, especially without proof or certainty. Synonyms: claim, assert, accuse, declare, state, insinuate. Example: the police allege that the suspect was involved in the robbery, but they do not have any concrete evidence yet.
Verb. Alleviate meaning. To reduce or make something less severe, intense, or painful. Synonyms: ease, reduce, lessen, mitigate, relieve. Example: taking pain medication can alleviate the discomfort in your head.
Verb. Allocate meaning. To give a particular amount of something to a person or thing for a specific purpose. Synonyms: assign, distribute, allot, apportion, earmark, designate. Example: the company will allocate funds for marketing and advertising.
Noun. Alloy meaning. A mixture of two or more metals, or a metal and a non-metal. Synonyms: blend, compound, fusion, amalgam, composite. Example: stainless steel is an alloy of iron and chromium. Brass is an alloy of copper and zinc.
Noun. Allusion meaning. An implied or indirect reference to something, often in a literary or artistic context. Synonyms: reference, suggestion, implication, hint, insinuation, indication. Example: in Shakespeare's play Hamlet, the line to be or not to be is an allusion to the idea of life and death.
Adjective. Aloof meaning. Not friendly, distant, or uninvolved with others. Synonyms: detached, distant, cold, standoffish, unsociable. Example: he remained aloof from the group, preferring to stand by himself in the corner.
Noun. Altruism meaning. The practice of doing good for others without any personal gain or benefit. Synonyms: selflessness, magnanimity, philanthropy, generosity, compassion. Example: she showed great altruism by donating all of her salary to a charity organization.
Noun. Ambience meaning. The atmosphere, vibe, or mood of a particular place or environment. Synonyms: mood, aura, vibe, feeling, climate, surroundings. Example: the ambience of the restaurant was cozy and romantic, with dim lighting and soft music.
Adjective. Ambiguous meaning. Unclear or doubtful, having more than one possible interpretation. Synonyms: unclear, vague, uncertain, indefinite, equivocal. Example: her facial expression was ambiguous, and I couldn't tell if she was angry or happy.
Adjective. Ambivalent meaning. Having mixed feelings or uncertain attitudes towards something or someone. Synonyms: conflicted, undecided, doubtful, unsure, hesitant, wavering. Example: she was ambivalent about quitting her job as she loved her colleagues but hated the work.
Verb. Ameliorate meaning. To make something better or improve its condition. Synonyms: improve, enhance, better, upgrade, uplift, optimize, refine. Example: the government should take steps to ameliorate the living conditions of the poor.
Adjective. Amenable meaning. Willing to agree or accept something responsive to suggestion or advice. Synonyms: cooperative, compliant, conformable, obedient. Example: the principal was amenable to the idea of extending the school hours.
Adjective. Amenity meaning. Something that adds to one's comfort or convenience, usually in a particular place or situation. Synonyms: comfort, luxury, facility, feature, perk, resource. Example: the hotel had many amenities, including a swimming pool, gym, and a spa.
Adjective. Amiable meaning. Friendly and pleasant in nature. Synonyms. Affable, congenial, pleasant, cordial, genial, agreeable. Example. The store manager greeted us with an amiable smile and offered to help us find what we were looking for.
Noun. Amnesty meaning. An official pardon granted to individuals or groups who have committed a crime or offense. Synonyms. Pardon, forgiveness, clemency, reprieve, mercy, exoneration, absolution. Example. The government announced an amnesty for all illegal immigrants living in the country.
Adjective. Amoral meaning. Lacking moral principles or values. Not concerned with what is right or wrong. Synonyms. Unethical, without ethics. Immoral, without morals. Unprincipled, unscrupulous. Example. The company's decision to dump toxic waste into the river was immoral and showed a complete disregard for the environment.
Adjective. Amorous meaning. Showing or expressing love or romantic feelings. Synonyms. Affectionate, ardent, passionate, romantic, enamored. Example. The amorous couple sat in the park, holding hands and gazing into each other's eyes.
Adjective. Amorphous meaning. Without a clear or defined shape, form, or structure. Synonyms. Shapeless, formless, unstructured, undefined, nebulous. Example. The cloud in the sky was amorphous and constantly changing shape.
Noun. Anachronism meaning. Something that is out of place or time. Synonyms. Relic, old-fashioned, outdated, obsolete, antique, archaic. Example. The professor's use of chalk and blackboard in his lectures seems like an anachronism in the age of digital technology.
Noun. Analogy meaning. A comparison between two things, typically to explain or clarify something. Synonyms. Comparison, likeness, similarity, correlation, parallel. Example. She made an analogy between the human heart and a pump.
Noun. Anarchy meaning. A state of disorder and absence of government or authority. Synonyms. Chaos, lawlessness, confusion, rebellion, disorder, turmoil, riot, mayhem. Example. The overthrow of the government led to a state of anarchy in the country.
Noun. Anecdote meaning. A short, amusing, or interesting story about a real person or event. Synonyms. Tale, story, narrative, account, reminiscence. Example. I remember my grandfather always used to tell us funny anecdotes about his past experiences.
Noun. Anguish meaning. Severe mental or physical pain or suffering. Synonyms. Agony, suffering, torment, pain, distress, misery. Example. The parents were filled with anguish after the sudden death of their child.
Noun. Animosity meaning. Strong dislike or hostility towards someone or something. Synonyms. Hostility, enmity, resentment, antipathy, hatred, ill will. Example. The animosity between the two rival gangs led to constant violence on the streets.
Noun. Anomaly meaning. Something that deviates from what is expected or normal. Synonyms. Aberration, abnormality, deviation, exception, oddity. Example. He was born with an anomaly in his heart that required surgery.
Noun. Antecedent meaning. Something that comes before and causes or influences something else. Synonyms. Precursor, forerunner, predecessor, ancestor, parent, source. Example. The antecedent of a computer is the abacus.
Noun. Antipathy meaning. A strong feeling of dislike or hostility towards someone or something. Synonyms. Hatred, loathing, disgust, aversion, animosity, enmity. Example: the two rival teams had developed a strong antipathy towards each other.
Noun, antithesis meaning. A person or thing that is the direct opposite of someone or something else. Synonyms: opposite, contrary, inverse, reverse, converse. Example: love is the antithesis of hate. Hot is the antithesis of cold.
Noun, apartheid meaning. A system of racial segregation and discrimination enforced by the government in South Africa from 1948 to 1994. Synonyms: segregation, separation, discrimination, racialism. Example: Nelson Mandela, a South African anti-apartheid activist, spent 27 years in prison before his release and the eventual dismantling of apartheid.
Noun, apathy meaning. A lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern towards something. Synonyms: indifference, disinterest, lassitude, torpor, lethargy. Example: John's apathy towards his own health led to several health complications.
Noun, aphorism meaning. A brief statement that expresses a general truth or moral principle. Synonyms: maxim, adage, proverb, dictum, saying, axiom. Example: an apple a day keeps the doctor away is an aphorism that means eating healthy food can keep us fit and healthy.
Noun, apocalypse meaning. A catastrophic event that signals the end of the world or the destruction of civilization. Synonyms: Armageddon, cataclysm, calamity, catastrophe, disaster. Example: many people fear that a nuclear apocalypse will wipe out humanity.
Noun, apocryphal meaning. Not genuine or authentic, of doubtful authenticity. Synonyms: fictitious, false, spurious, dubious, questionable, unverified. Example: the apocryphal tale of a woman who swallowed a watermelon seed and had a watermelon grow inside her was just a myth.
Noun, apotheosis meaning. The highest point or culmination of something, especially in terms of development or achievement. Synonyms: culmination, climax, zenith, peak, summit, pinnacle, acme, apex. Example: the company's increase in profits marked the apotheosis of its growth.
Verb, appease meaning. To calm, satisfy, or pacify someone's anger, fear, or worry. Synonyms: pacify, placate, soothe, calm, mollify, quell, assuage. Example: the company tried to appease unhappy customers by offering them discounts.
Verb, appreciate meaning. To recognize the value, worth, or importance of something or someone. Synonyms: acknowledge, recognize, understand, value, esteem. Example: I truly appreciate all the hard work you put in to finish this project on time.
Adjective, apprehensive meaning. Feeling anxious or fearful about what may happen in the future. Synonyms: worried, uneasy, tense, scared, fearful, anxious, hesitant. Example: I am always apprehensive when I have to speak in front of a large audience.
Noun, approbation meaning. Approval or praise given to something or someone. Synonyms: commendation, endorsement, support, acclaim, cheers, praise. Example: she received approbation from her boss when she completed the project on time.
Verb, appropriate meaning. To take possession of something for one's own use. Synonyms: seize, take, confiscate, acquire, claim, annex, usurp. Example: the thief was caught appropriating money from the cash register.
Noun, aptitude meaning. A natural ability or talent for a particular skill or activity. Synonyms: expertise, talent, proficiency, knack, ability, capability. Example: the company tests the aptitude of the candidates before hiring them for a specific role.
Noun. Arbiter meaning. An arbiter is a person who settles a dispute or has the power to judge a situation. Synonyms: referee, mediator, adjudicator, umpire, arbitrator. Example: the court appointed an arbiter to settle the disagreement between the two parties.
Adjective: arbitrary meaning. Based on random choice or personal whim, rather than any reason or system. Synonyms: erratic, whimsical, unpredictable, subjective, unreasonable. Example: the coach's decisions on playing time were arbitrary and caused frustration among the players.
Adjective. Arcane meaning. Understood by only a few mysterious secret. Synonyms: obscure, esoteric, enigmatic, cryptic, recondite. Example: the principles behind quantum physics are still arcane to the average person.
Adjective: archaic meaning. Belonging to a much earlier period of time, old-fashioned. Synonyms: ancient, outdated, obsolete, old-fashioned, antiquated. Example: the archaic machinery in the factory was replaced with modern equipment to increase efficiency.
Noun. Archetype meaning. A very typical example of a certain person or thing, an original that has been imitated or copied over time. Synonyms: model, prototype, standard, example, paradigm. Example: the wise old man is an archetype representing knowledge, experience, and guidance.
Adjective: ardent meaning. Having or showing strong enthusiasm or devotion, passionate. Synonyms: embarrass, humiliate, shame, disconcert, confuse. Example: the ardent supporters of the team cheered loudly throughout the game.
Adjective. Arduous meaning. Difficult or tiring, requiring a lot of effort. Synonyms: strenuous, laborious, grueling, difficult, exhausting. Example: completing the military training program can be an arduous challenge for soldiers.
Adjective: aristocratic meaning. Relating to or characteristic of the upper class or nobility. Synonyms: noble, highborn, patrician, blue-blooded, elite, privileged. Example: she was born into an aristocratic family and lived in a grand castle.
Adjective. Artful meaning. Clever or skillful in a way that is tricky or deceitful, often used in a negative sense. Synonyms: cunning, sly, wily, shrewd, crafty, guileful, dodgy. Example: the artful salesman convinced me to buy a product I didn't even need.
Noun. Artifice meaning. Cleverness or trickery used to deceive someone. Synonyms: deceit, deception, trickery, duplicity, cunning, guile. Example: the politician's promises were just artifice to gain more votes.
Noun. Ascendancy meaning. Dominance or control over someone or something. Synonyms: dominion, power, superiority, supremacy, hegemony. Example: the company has maintained its ascendancy in the market for over a decade.
Adjective. Ascetic meaning. Denoting a simple and strict way of living without luxuries or pleasures. Synonyms: austere, Spartan, strict, self-denying, self-disciplined, monkish. Example: the yogi followed an ascetic lifestyle, practicing yoga and meditation daily.
Adjective. Assiduous meaning. Showing great care, attention, and effort in doing something. Synonyms: diligent, industrious, attentive, meticulous, hardworking. Example: the athlete's assiduous training and dedication paid off when she broke the world record.
Verb. Assimilate meaning. To absorb and integrate information, ideas, or culture into oneself. Synonyms: absorb, learn, understand, integrate, comprehend, grasp. Example: immigrants often struggle to assimilate into a new country's customs and language.
Verb: assuage, meaning to make something less severe or intense. Synonyms: alleviate, mitigate, ease, relieve, soothe, mollify, palliate. Example: a warm bath can assuage stress and tension in the body.
Adjective: astute, meaning having or showing a keen mind, sharp intelligence, and good judgment. Synonyms: shrewd, clever, perceptive, sharp, prudent, savvy. Example: the astute detective quickly solved the case by noticing a small detail that others missed.
Noun: attrition, meaning gradual reduction or wearing down of something. Synonyms: erosion, decrease, depletion, reduction, wear and tear. Example: the constant attrition of the coastline by the sea is a major concern for the local community.
Noun: audacity, meaning boldness or daring, often bordering on recklessness or impudence. Synonyms: nerve, courage, temerity, brazenness, pluck, chutzpah. Example: the politician's audacity in lying to the public was shocking.
Noun: augment, meaning to increase or enhance something in size, quantity, or intensity. Synonyms: expand, amplify, escalate, magnify. Example: the company is planning to augment its production by installing new machinery.
Adjective: auspicious, meaning indicating future success or good fortune, favorable. Synonyms: propitious, promising, fortunate, opportune, optimistic. Example: the weather on our wedding day was auspicious, with clear skies and sunshine.
Adjective: austere, meaning severe or strict in manner, attitude, or appearance. Synonyms: stern, harsh, unadorned, simple, plain, restrained, ascetic. Example: the monks lived an austere life in the monastery with no luxuries or excesses.
Adjective: autocratic, meaning having unlimited power or authority, dictatorial. Synonyms: authoritarian, despotic, tyrannical, domineering, imperious, oppressive. Example: the country was ruled by an autocratic regime where the government had absolute control over the citizens' lives.
Adjective: autonomous, meaning having the ability to act independently without external control or influence. Synonyms: self-governing, self-ruling, self-determining, independent, sovereign. Example: the new autonomous vehicle is capable of driving itself without the need for human intervention.
Noun: avarice, meaning extreme greed for wealth or material gain. Synonyms: greed, cupidity, rapacity, covetousness, materialism. Example: the avarice of the politician caused him to be involved in corruption scandals.
Verb: avow, meaning to declare or admit something openly or with confidence. Synonyms: assert, declare, affirm, state, acknowledge, profess, swear. Example: the athlete avowed that he would train harder to win the next competition.
Adjective: avuncular, meaning kind and friendly, like an uncle, a warm and friendly approach. Synonyms: amiss, misguided, askew, wrong, bent, off course, off track, twisted. Example: the shopkeeper uncle welcomed me with an avuncular smile and gave me a discount on my purchase.
Adjective: awry, meaning not going according to plan or not working out properly. Synonyms: amiss, askew, wrong, bent, off course, off track, twisted. Example: My attempt to repair the car went awry and I ended up causing more damage.
Noun, axiom meaning, a self-evident truth or principle that requires no proof. Synonyms, rule, principle, postulate, maxim, theorem, dogma, guideline. Example, the axiom a straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points is taught in geometry.